Compared to other spirits, this seems kind of bonkers. Hello and welcome to My Tiny Bottles, the project where I'm exploring my grandmother's legacy of miniature liquor bottles, one tiny bottle at a time. I'm your host, Tammy Coxon. Bottle number 70 is Rémy Martin VSOP Cognac. Rémy Martin is one of the big four cognac houses that dominate production. One of the most obvious things that distinguishes it from the other cognacs I've discovered in Grandma's collection so far is that the company that makes it was actually founded by Frenchmen. Bottle number 7, Martell's founder, was an Englishman, and bottle 19, Hennessey's, was Irish. Rémy Martin, on the other hand, was founded in 1724 by Rémy Martin and his father-in-law, Jean Jay. In 1924, their descendant, Paul Rémy Martin, died without any family to inherit, and the business passed into the hands of his business partner, André Renaud. The Renaud family has remained the major stockholder and been closely involved ever since. In 1990, they merged with the company behind bottle number 50, Cointreau, to form the Remy Cointreau Group. The two families had already merged in another way, though, since one of André Renaud's daughters married a member of the Cointreau family in 1946. Rémy Martin has very little vineyard property of their own, and instead works with a network of producers who grow the grapes. This isn't unique to them. Most cognac houses don't make all their own wines. But in the 1960s, Rémy Martin founded the Fine Champagne Alliance, a large cooperative of producers that they purchase from. And they're not just purchasing wine. These producers also distill the initial eau de vies, unaged brandies, to their specifications before passing them on to Rémy Martin for aging and ultimately blending. Compared to other spirits, this seems kind of bonkers. It would be like Jim Beam asking the corn farmers to distill the white whiskey and then taking over at the aging step. In most other kinds of spirits, centralized control is key to creating a house style. But this is just one of the ways that cognac is so different than other kinds of spirits. It's all about the aging and the blending. A single bottle of Rémy Martin will contain brandy from multiple years and multiple producers. One thing all those grapes have in common is that they can come from only 2 of the 6 cognac subregions. These are confusingly called Grand Champagne and Petite Champagne, although they have nothing to do with the sparkling wine we celebrate with on New Year's Eve. Traditionally, these 2 regions have produced the most sought-after wines for distilling into cognac. If a cognac has only grapes from those 2 regions, and at least 50% of them are from Grand Champagne, then the cognac is permitted to be called a fine champagne cognac. Since 1948, all of the cognac produced by Rémy Martin has met this minimum standard. And some lines, like the much-lauded and outrageously expensive Louis XIII, are 100% sourced from Grand Champagne. That cognac is sold in special crystal decanters and retails for $4,000 to $5,000 for a regular-sized bottle. My research indicates that they did and still do make minis of Louis XIII. Now that would be an awesome discovery from Grandma's collection. But barring that, apparently Total Wine will be happy to deliver a modern one to me for just $820. My bottle is labeled VSOP. It's most likely from the first half of the 1980s, based on metric measurements, alcohol level in ABV rather than proof, and differences made to the brand's look later in the 80s. Based on other brandies I've tried so far, I'm expecting this to be a perfectly delightful sample. Now, I just need to find someone with a mini bottle of Louis XIII so we can do a truly grand comparison. If that's you, be sure to let me know in the comments or at mytinybottles.com. For the rest of you, I'd happily take a like or a subscribe instead. And if you have a Rémy Martin cognac experience to share, drop it in the comments or at mytinybottles on social media. Cheers!